Sienna God, hello all, afternoon, good afternoon, and Wado, thank you for watching. So this is the second part of me reading these pages of documents that Bing's AI called Copilot told me to print out and share, as well as, learn for myself. We were gaslit. There were absolutely no emails that were released. Trump wasn't mentioned 24,000 times, way more times than Jesus was mentioned in the Bible. Like, all of that stuff is not true. And so in all of these documents, these pages that I was told to print out that mentioned his name, he's mentioned a collected 35 times. Okay? So you're learning right along with me. And I will try to do my best to read this. These court reporters, I'm going to tell you there's got to be a shortage for some really good ones because these are really difficult. So I'm just going to flip the page to show you rather than try to explain how they wrote this throughout the time. But anyway, this one says 3 space 1E. And since I'm military, it's driven in my brain that dash is TAC. Okay. So TAC TAC 108062. Continuation of FD TAC 302 of Virginia L. Guffrey on 3/17/2011, page 2 of 2. Like, she was locked into the relationship. Period. 1 space. I gave Guffrey pharmaceutical drugs toward the end of their relationship. Guffrey's relationship with 1 space 1 ended while she was at a private ranch near Ocala, Florida. Guffrey telephonically contacted a childhood friend, 1, and then that name is redacted with a vertical rectangle right there, from a telephone at the ranch. Guffrey knew, and it has 1 after that space, I from elementary school, and called him at the horn telephone of his parents. So it's probably home telephone of his parents. Guffrey told she was very lonely in telephone conversation with, and it has all of these right here, commas, dots, and dashes. And I'll count the dashes if you want to try and figure out who that was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 17. Oh, gotta blink. And then, let me see, the recreational vehicle. And this is what they said right here. So you see the R and V, but they put all these spaces for, I guess, how their name is spelled or whatever, comma, and then it looks like Guffrey, but I don't know why it's spelled out like that. It's kind of weird. And then WLAS probably was last staying in at the ranch. Stryker packed her belongings and told her she was going to live with another man. And it says B6 is blank B7. It says capital C B6 blank B7 capital C. Guffrey B6. She was sent to UT, did not know the B7C. And then here's another thing right here. It has an R with, like, let me see if you can see that. You cannot see it. Okay, so it's R TAC squiggly line and then a whole underscore bar across, and then O squiggly line F. The arrangement: Guffrey engaged in sexual activity with who was described as a white male. 1 space I space Guffrey stated. Guffrey stayed with, and it has that 1 thing again, then space ILNU for approximately 1 or 2 weeks before the police located her and returned her to her parents. Guffrey was interviewed by a male detective. Guffrey's parents were still married at the time and lived near R squiggly line L, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tax with a little squiggly, Florida. Guffrey believed there was an FBI investigation related to she never saw, and it has a 1, and then, or maybe that's a lowercase L, I have no idea, and then L again after, or 1 again, I don't know. In approximately June 1998 or 99, Guffrey began working at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago club in West Palm Beach, Florida. Guffrey's father, L or 1, and then capital L dash, and then it has all these right here. That's his name, and then the second. And then when I was telling you before about those squiggly lines and that, it's over here. And then I believe that's it. And the 1s and the L's, I'm going to show you right here. It says saw, L, and then it has an L, and then it says again, which is, I don't know, it's weird. was able to help her GA capital, lowercase GA, and then capital L dot tech IN. So that's probably Ghislaine. That sounds like that one. I have no idea. Okay. So Ghislaine, I'm not sure what that, anyhow. Employment as a babysitter and later as a locker room attendant. Okay. So we heard attendant before, so that's probably the same person becoming a locker room attendant. So I'm sure they give you a towel, maybe give you the soap or paper towels, whatever it is that you come in and enter into those highfalutin places. That I've been to one kind of like that, but I've never been to one on that level before. I've been to Milk and Honey, and they take care of you really, really well there. But anyway, employment, okay, locker room attendant at the club. Jeffrey started studying for a GED and wanted to become a massage therapist. In August, Jeffrey was reading an anatomy/massage book and was approached by Land help her get her masseuse accreditation. And it has that number 1 there again. And then there's a little redaction bar. Jeffrey consulted her father about the opportunity. And at approximately 5 p.m. the same day, her father drove her to a residence ATL with that redaction bar again, B6, B7C. So I'm going to show you that. Full transparency right here. These redaction bars. And so now I understand in reading this why they set up the disposition things that looks like email. So it'll say date, time, to, from, etc. It's supposed to make everything flow better. But anyway, so this right here, I was printing it out and it should have been on its own page. I didn't realize that at the time, and then I reprinted it on its own page. So for full transparency, I'm going to read this to you, but remember you're going to hear it again in its entirety on a completely different page, all on its own. So it says by question, oh, and there's B7C at the bottom of that page. I don't know if I read that right, but by question mark. And it says, I used to get frightened flying with her, but Bill had the Secret Service with him, and I remember him talking about what a good job she did. Okay, so that's that one. And then this one is going to be pay stubs. So remember, if you get in some stuff, your pay stubs, your pay history, your employment status, whatever it is going to be there for everybody to see. So it says SS TAC 1826, itemized statement of earnings for SSN, and it's redacted. Employer number redacted. Agricultural Breeding and Research Center, percent Ernest Lax, LAKS, 14201 125th Avenue in West Palm Beach, Florida, 33418, TAC 7945, year 2000, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, all blank. Total $99.48. Employer number redacted. Southeast Employee Management Company, 2559 Palm Deer Drive, Loxahatchee, Florida, 33470, TAC 2563, year 2000, first, second, third, and fourth quarters are blank. Total is $3,212.44. Employer number redacted. Mar-a-Lago Club, LLC, Trump Donald J, GEN, PTR, percent Trump Organization, 1100 S Ocean Boulevard, Palm Beach, Florida, 33480, TAC 5004, year 2000, first, second, third, and fourth quarter. Total $1,866.50. Employer number redacted. Oasis Outsourcing VI Inc., 2054 Vista Parkway, Suite 300, West Palm Beach, Florida, 33411, TAC 6742, year 2000, first quarter, second quarter, third, and fourth are blank. Total $2,037.60. Employer number Neiman Marcus Group LLC, percent Neiman Marcus Group Ltd, sole member, so SOLE, space MBR, 1201 Elm Street, Dallas, Texas, 75270, TAC 2102, year 2000, first through fourth quarters are blank, and the total is $1440.79, so $1,440.79. And that says page 2, and it says Guffrey 009178, confidential. Here are those pay stubs. Let's see, did I get to the end? Not trying to make anybody motion sick. Hopefully you saw that. But anyway, next. Argan Blando Court Reporting and Video Inc. I guess I'll do that next because I'm fixing to end it on less than 10 minutes. So don't go hang, okay, you want to get chance. Okay, tell me again, love you, mean it. I'm fixing to make the next part 3.